Hey everyone, this is Brandon of Team Topdeck, and I'm here about to do an Aether Revolt Intermediate Swiss Draft League. So let's get started. In 5 players. Alright, looks like we're ready to go. And here in this pack, the most obviously powerful card here is SRAM's Expertise. And the other cards I would be looking at here are the Malphus Revolutionary, the Scrapper Champion, the Druid of the Cowl, and the Shock. Really, any number of these would be reasonable first picks, but SRAM's Expertise is a huge tempo swing, puts a lot of power on the board, and it's really good at going wide. Please ignore that beep. That is our internet box that is making noise because its battery life is dead. Anyway, so SRAM's Expertise, most powerful card of the pack. I'd be really looking at maybe Countless Gears Renegade wheels. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. So it's possible we wheel this, maybe a Laughing Sailback or Iron Tread Crusher. Alright, next here we have a Caught in the Brights, we have Maverick Thopterist and Outland Boar as good multicolored cards, and we have Sweatworks Brawler. Since we already took a white card, Caught in the Brights is very appealing. We might even wheel something relevant again, maybe this Aegis Automaton with the multicolored cards, maybe an Aether Swooper, depending on if blue is open or not. But there's probably going to be something for us when this pack comes back around, so that's going to be useful. And also a minor note is that we're not really passing any good white cards, and that's not like super important to keep track of, because we mainly want to keep track of the cards that are being passed, but it's a minor footnote to keep note of. Alright, in this pack, we kind of ran out of good white cards, but we do have a Malphus Revolutionary, Trophy Mage, Aether Chaser, Aether Herder to a lesser extent, Prey Upon. This is actually just a lot of good cards in general. We've seen several reasonable red cards already. I think I'm actually going to take this Malphus Revolutionary. It's the highest upside here in a green-white Revolt deck, is pretty reasonable. We should be able to find some counter synergies at some point as well, easily enough. So we'll take that and see where we're going. What am I getting? An Iron Tread Crusher back. We might just get the one from the other packs, so this won't matter. Maybe this High Spire Infusion. But green is pretty heavily drafted in this format, like before, so I wouldn't really expect those to come back. Okay, so here I'm looking at the Narnum Renegade, I'm looking at Chandra's Evolution, I'm looking at Prey Upon. I'm just going to go with the Narnum Renegade. It's just a small, efficient creature, and the Revolt is just a nice little upside. Prey Upon is also pretty reasonable, but it's not as huge a priority because generally a lot of the creatures in this set are similar in size, even the green ones, the 5-drop aside. In red, the Chandra's Evolution. Well, this is the third Sweatworks Brawler we've seen too. Anyway, the Chandra's Evolution, don't want to branch out into another color since we don't have to. And Narnum Renegade is a perfectly good card. Alright, in this pack we have Cogwork Assembler, we have Audacious Infiltrator, and we have Silkweaver Elite, and we have there's a fourth Seatwork Sprawl. Wow, somebody's gonna have a nice improvised deck. So here, I think I'm gonna take this Audacious Infiltrator, just edging out the Cogwork Assembler by a little bit. I'm actually very high on this card. It's really useful for turning on your improvised cards, and it's a great late game mana sink in a format that didn't have very many of those before. So it's really better than it looks. But yeah, we're just going to go with this. Okay. So now I think I'm just going to go with the 2-drop here. Countless Gears Renegade. I like it better than the Aeronaut Admiral. This fits. This is a good curve filler. It's okay. It's just kind of fragile. It's really only good on offense, and we don't even know how many vehicles we're going to be playing. This is really better for the red-white deck that's playing more vehicles. It's not nearly as good for green-white. Alright, in this pack, I'm actually going to take the Consulate Crackdown. It may look like a big, giant, dorky removal spell for artifacts, but it's a little better than it looks. Usually you're gonna if you can trade for a card, it's worth it barely, but anytime you're getting more than that, it's great. Just you have to keep in mind you have to aggressively side it out. It's not like 100% to make our deck, but it's a high upside pick. Other cards to note here, there's this Barricade Breaker, which the improvised players can be very happy with in this High Spire Infusion. Alright, in this pack we have an Aether Inspector, which is quite mediocre, and we have a Decommission. Mobile Garrison is really only good for the red-white vehicles deck. It's really good with stuff like Renegade Wheelsmith. Here, it's obviously it's just between the two white cards. I'm going to go with the Decommission. You can main deck this sometimes. Okay, so the Countless Gears Renegade came back out of the first pack, so it's a good curve filler. We're not actually locked into green. We didn't see that much of it. We just saw the Revolutionary and the Renegade. But given that we didn't pass that much green, maybe it'll be open a little bit coming from the other side, but I wouldn't count on that. We should be able to get some more white though, because we didn't send a whole lot of good white past us. Alright, we have actually, well, Aether Herd is a nice late pickup. So Iron Tread Crusher and Aegis Automaton are both okay, but this fits our curve very well. Okay, well, I'm not going to play 2 decommissions if I play any at all. None of these are really relevant. I'll just whatever. There's actually a chance we play that. What the heck? That's a late Hinterland Drake. It's actually one of the better blue commons, though blue is kind of underpowered in general. And we'll take the island. I'll just start this in the sideboard for now. So we're starting with a pretty reasonable green-white deck. Okay, alright, so we have a Call for Unity here, we have a Treasure Keeper, Aether Stream Leopard, and a Caught in the Brights. I'm going to go ahead and take the call for Unity, and I'll be on the lookout for more Revolt enabling cards, like more implements or renegade maps, that sort of thing. But really the next closest card would probably be the Treasure Keeper. And after that, Caught in the Brights and Aetherstream Leopard are both very similar in power level. I'd probably take the Caught in the Brights over it, but this is a very good creature. Yeah, I'm just going to go with this Call for Unity. It's not good unless you can build around it, but I think we can do that reasonably well. Okay, oh, this is like the exact same sequence of cards. That's freaky. Literally those same 4 cards. Okay, well, I'm gonna go with the Treasure Keeper. Nothing's changed from the last pack, from what I said. Okay, I guess it's not exactly the same. We don't have the enchantment, but that person took the rare. But this it works pretty well with the Consulate Crackdown, or with the Call for Unity, I guess, as something you're just willing to trade off and get out of the way. Don't think we're gonna get anything on the wheel out of this pack. Maybe an alley evasion, but yeah, it's not great. Alright, in this pack, I think I'm gonna go with the Prey Upon, and I'll make note of wanting to grab a couple more large creatures. Actually, Prey Upon is part of what makes cards like Iron Tread Crusher more playable. Even though green doesn't really need big creatures as much, it just helps. It pretty much guarantees Prey Upon's going to just be 1-mana kill something, which is quite nice. We also have a Bastion Enforcer, which fits into our curve well, but it's just a mediocre card in general. So we're going to take this Prey Upon. Alright, here we have not a whole lot. It's pretty much just this Audacious Infiltrator. Really nothing else here that I care about, except, no. At best, I care about Universal Solvent, maybe for the sideboard, but not really that much. Alright, I can dig it. So we have a Fill Out Our Guardian, Caught the Brights. It's also a shock that doesn't matter to us. This works perfectly with our Consulate Crackdown, I keep looking at the wrong 5-mana enchantment. Our Call for Unity. It synergizes well with that. We don't even have to trade off a stupid creature. I wouldn't mind having another Caught in the Brights, but it's not quite as important. Going forward, we do still want to pick up a couple more Revolt enablers for our Call for Unity and some 3-drops, but this Fill Out Our Guardian's great. Okay, here, we have Monstrous Onslaught, so that's pretty good. We definitely wouldn't mind playing an Iron Tread Crusher if we can pick one up a little later. We might be able to wheel one. Only other card I really care about is the Silkweaver Elite, kinda, but this is kind of a mediocre Revolt card. It's not nearly as good as it looks. Actually, it doesn't even look that good. But it says draw a card on it, so it looks, kind of interesting. Alright, only thing we care about here is the High Spire Infusion. I'd like to note that we do have a fair amount of spells, so we do want to be taking creatures a little more highly going forward. Alright, and this pack... Well, I guess we'll just take the Unbridled Growth. It does work with our Revolt stuff again. But it's not the creature I was looking for. Alright, well, I guess we got the Death Dismissal back. I'm not going to start it. It's kind of mediocre, costs a lot of mana to usually just trade for one card, but it's worth citing in if your opponent has a lot of small aggro creatures, kills off some servos, that sort of thing. Oh, there's the beep going off again. I guess we can have another one, I suppose. I guess we'll take this Bastion Enforcer. We might end up playing it just for curve considerations. We do want something to do on 3. It's not very exciting though. Hopefully we can pick up some better cards in our Kaladesh pack. This card just does not matter. No, these cards are 2 peas in a pod. No, I'll take somebody's stupid little Improvise Enabler, whatever. We have enough spells that we might actually end up cutting this Consulate Crackdown, so we'll see. Really, I'm just looking for 3-drops. I want some 3-drops really badly. Well, okay. It's not exactly a creature, but it's very powerful. Nature's Way would be nice as well, but that's not what we're into. This is just really good at beating down, but it's not technically a creature. We're still going to prioritize 3-drops. Three drops. Okay. We're having a hard time finding creatures, but we are getting great removal spells, I guess. Somebody took a common, so whoever's passing to us clearly isn't black-white. That's interesting. Alright, Skyveller shot. Okay, so only creatures in the pack for us are Cal Prowler and Sage of Shayla's Claim, and I'm just going to take the Cal Prowler, which is about an unexciting a 3rd pick as you can possibly get, but this is what it's come down to. And at the very least, it is good at fighting for Monstrous Onslaught and Prey Upon. I don't know what is going on though. We're just not getting creatures in general. Actually, I'd probably play this Cogworker's Puzzlenaut too. That wouldn't be horrible. Okay, so I'm going to take the Sky Swirl Harrier. We don't have any 5-drop creatures yet, and we could use it. Still want to pick up 3-drops, not looking for any more spells. In fact, we're going to have to start cutting them soon, probably starting with this Consulate Crackdown. Well, let's see. So we can either take a 2nd Sky Swirl Harrier, or we can fill in our curve better with an off-color Wildfast Monitor. So that's an interesting decision here. I'd still rather just go with the Harrier here. Maybe if we see another one, but yeah, I'll cut the Crackdown for now. We'll take the second Harrier. Okay, this is a blank pack for us. We have Wily Bandar, Tassel Dromedary. Yeah, we'll just take the Dromedary for the sideboard. Nothing else. We're gonna play maybe Metal Spinners, Puzzle Knot, Alpha Splash. No, not really. That's a bad idea. We're not doing that. Okay, well, we can have our third 5-drop, I suppose. So, nothing else here for us. We have Takedown as a reusable sideboard card. We have a lot of reusable sideboard cards already. Acrobatic Maneuver is not bad for roll purposes either. Alright, this pack doesn't really have anything for us. I could take another Dromedary, but I'm actually going to take the Fire Forger's Puzzle Knot, and it's just another way to deal with a little creature, which is kind of nice. You can bring it out of the sideboard and sometimes even have a way to actually sacrifice it again. Alright. Here we have another Puzzle Knot we can pick up, and there's also a Ninth Bridge Patrol. I'm not really interested in the Ninth Bridge Patrol. It's kind of a underwhelming card. We don't have a ton of ways to really abuse it. Well, we don't really need another Puzzle Knot, but we do actually. It does have a little bit of synergy with our stuff. I'd still rather have the Puzzle Knot though. Wow. This card wheeled. That's interesting. So there's nothing else in this pack for us anyway, so we might as well just take it, but I don't think there's really a good way for us to splash it. Maybe out of the sideboard if we're in a grindy matchup and we don't mind having something that's not live until later. Alright, we'll just take the stupid rare. The stupid enchantment. Another stupid Puzzle Knot. The stupid discard spell, and a land. Now here, the deck is basically already built, so we don't really need to do anything besides add lands. I'll do, I guess, one last check for cards we'd consider, but I don't think these are better than what we already have. I also do want to note we have 14 creatures that we do. Strands Expertise is basically a creature itself, so I'm just going to pile it over there. Alright, there we go. This is a more accurate look at it. Well, we never did get that 3-drop we wanted, so we're having to play the kind of stinker with the Bastion Enforcer, but yeah, the deck looks okay. It has a fair amount of interaction for a green-white deck. The Priapon, Skywalker Shot, Caught in the Brights, Monstrous Onslaught. And we do have the nice synergy between pump effects and tokens with these two. So we'll just add some lands. 8/8, yeah, that looks about right to me. So we'll save that deck, and we'll move on to round 1.